Hello, 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 humanity. Back once again. Seemed like it's been a long time. Um, I wanted to share with you a recipe. I think this may have been the first time that I actually tried this particular recipe. I was watching the Food Network, and I saw the young lady on Girl Meets Farm. I think that's the name of it, Girl Meets Farm, and she did mozzarella sticks. And so I thought about it. I was like, how can I get that deep fried flavor in a strip, but not with the cheese? And so what I did was I took a half a cup of mushrooms, just regular mushrooms, not the caps, but you can use the caps. And I used the mandolin and I shredded it as best I could. And then I boiled 1 cup of cauliflower, the florets, cut them into florets, washed and chopped. And I boiled it for maybe 10 to 12 minutes. As soon as the cauliflower gets soft, it's good. And then I put, drained it and put it to the side. And then I used oat flour. And remember, with the oat flour, if you don't have any oat flour on hand, all you do is just take you some regular oats, put it in the blender, blend it until you have powder. And so I used two breadings for it. I used the oat flour, which I mixed with some maybe about a tablespoon of Mrs. Dash. Seasoning, the chipotle kind. And Mrs. Dash doesn't have the salt, so I put a tablespoon of that in with a fourth a cup of oat flour, and you put that to the side, maybe put it in a plate. And then I had some breading that I had gotten from one of the local grocers. I think I may have even gotten it from Dollar Tree, I'm not sure. But anyway, I put that in a separate on a separate plate, the whole contents of 1 packet. There were two packets within the box, and so I poured the whole packet of one, the entirety of one packet on a plate. And like I said, I put the Mrs. Dash Chipotle seasoning into the oat flour, as well as 2 tablespoons of paprika. And so all I did was I took the shredded mushrooms and the cauliflower, and I unloaded the whole thing onto the oat flour. And after I unloaded it onto the oat flour, you mash it around and twist it around the whole both of the entirety of the cauliflower and the mushrooms together. And it'll be good if you stack them on top of each other, so that way both are engulfed in the seasonings. And so then what I did was I took a small portion of the cauliflower and the mushroom, and covered it with if you have any left that's not covered, make sure it's covered in the oat flour, the oat flour. And then you'll squeeze it, squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it and manipulate it until it looks like a thin strip. And you'll probably find yourself not getting a real thin strip, because I really don't know a better way to get a strip, period, other than to squeeze it and squeeze it and manipulate it into my hand. And so after you get it to where it's cuffed enough to where you can then roll it around in just a little bit more of the oat flour. Then you transfer it over into the breading, and then you roll it around in that. And while you're doing that, until you get all of the cauliflower and the mushroom mixture into strips and put on a separate plate as well. You're going to heat your skillet up for maybe about a minute, and then you're going to put your oil in. You should probably have maybe like a cup or half a cup of oil. You can determine depending on your cookware. Some cookware, the non-stick surface is so good to where you don't need that much oil at all to deep fry. And I used a vegetable oil. And then I seasoned uh, the uh, the strips. with lemon pepper, just a half of a teaspoon of the lemon pepper on each one of the strips. So you got just a tad bit of salt, because remember the Mrs. Dash doesn't have any salt at all. And so what you're going to do, you're just going to dip that over in your oil. You let it stay in for I want to say, oh wait, you know what? No, that's a separate. I'm sorry. I have so many recipes to bring you until I almost got confused with that. So yeah, you're gonna put it up over into the hot oil. Let your oil get hot for maybe about 3 or 4 minutes, and then you'll put your strips over in it. And after you put your strips in it, you'll let them brown on one side for maybe about 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, and then you'll turn it over and get the other side golden brown. And then there you go. And for the dipping sauce, what I did was I took a fourth a cup of A1 steak sauce, and then I added a couple of dashes of hot sauce, and then I put in 1 tablespoon of honey barbecue sauce. So you can use, the barbecue sauce of your choice. Hopefully, you can find one that's sugar free. And then, you let your strips, your deep fried strips cool, and then you just dip them in the sauce. Or, just use, remember, the personalization and the customization is key to the eating lifestyle. You can create your own your own dipping sauce, the ones that you prefer. And for some of you, you might have a little bit of trouble, this is all new and what have you. To make it a little bit easier for you, you can just get the fish fry. You see it all the time in the store. And sometimes when I don't want to go through all the hassle of, just the extra manipulation and the extra cuffing and this, that, and the other, just get your fish fry. And as opposed to the oat flour, eliminate the oat flour. Put the fish fry on the bottom of a separate plate. Dump your cauliflower and your shredded mushrooms on top of each other, on top of the first layer foundation of the fish fry, and then cover all of it with fish fry, and then squeeze it again, dip it over into the breading, and then repeat the process for the second time, and then dip it over into the hot oil. As a matter of fact, if this is your first time, I highly recommend that you use the fish fry as opposed to the oat flour. Okay, with that being said, humanity, I have quite a few recipes to bring to you. I did a oatmeal chocolate cake. I definitely want to bring that to you. And then yesterday, I did my thin mini breads, and I did a shredded mushroom stew. So I want to bring that to you too. Okay, humanity, you know how we do it. I'm going to go and get it. I'll go and get it and then bring it back to you. Take care.